Greetings, dear ones. I am right now in Karnataka in a place called Bevinkoppa. I come here often. You must be knowing about this place. This is where Vijayananda Swami. So I am taking a stroll here. I was talking with him for all this time, and for a long time we talked, as usual, because it's been a long time we met, and I missed coming here. So now I took the opportunity and came here and taking a stroll in this beautiful place. Complete nature. I think it's been months that I've been here. So I don't know why this screen is looking like this. So you can see this nature here. It's only farms. Sugarcane farms. So I'm walking on this lonely road. So today's contemplation has been more on the purpose of life. And that's why I put a post also today, an image post which said, do anything in life, doesn't matter this or that. But one thing, don't forget the main ultimate purpose of your life. That is to liberate. Because if we forget that one purpose of life, then we got to be coming here again and again. Again, I'm making this live because the space is still there. I have the space problem, so I cannot save it and render the video and all that, because my Himalayan travel video is still incomplete and it's a long thing. I just clubbed it everything and it's coming to almost close to 45 minutes to 50 minutes, so that's a huge file. But it has all the tidbits of the whole trip taken here. So as I pass this tree, I always remember these two trees here. There's supposed to be some divinity here, I don't know what exactly. So I just came walking from there. I'm moving towards the hospital and one guy is with me. He's giving me company. He's the Ashram dog. He recognizes me, so he's giving me company till the hospital. So these two trees, something very mysterious these trees are. So exactly this is the place where many people have had visions of Devi or Shakti. And I remember even Swamiji saying when Ishanji was a small child, when he had come here with my Gurudev. So this was the place he had some vision of Ma Tara or someone. So not just that, I have heard it from many other places also. There is one Muslim person here who comes to do marma chikitsa. And this is Kallari marma. This is not just marma. Kallari marma. So Kallari, you must be knowing, this was initiated in Kerala and it has to do with martial arts. So that when combined with marma are these points, the most delicate points in the human body. Basic 108 points are there, and plus there are many other minor points. So they have mastery over these points, and these points can rejuvenate, these points can give you good health and deha siddhi and lot. It is lethal, it can even kill. So that is what martial arts is mostly about. So marma chikitsa is something that is done through these points. So one guy named Pasha, he ended up here one day and somehow he came here. He got introduced or something. He came here and met Swamiji, and then he told about this. And I think it was 1 year back. And since then, he has been coming here now frequently. He is actually treating people here in the Ayurvedic hospital. Inaitu. Inbeko. This guy is giving me company. He walks me to the hospital. That's the hospital there, Ayurvedic hospital. So he is Swamiji's dog, Vijayananda Swamiji's dog. He sits with Vijayananda Swami all the time. And now he saw me coming and he's come. Ba, aile. So he is giving me company till there. So marma chikitsa, they have been doing this. There are some camps that they do here regularly. And I think first 10 days of every month they do here. And many have come here and many have been treated and all those things. Especially, it's something like chiropractors, you know. It's much more advanced than chiropractic care that is done with your joints and bones and all that. So this is the basic Kerala tradition of marma plus Kallari. So marma Kallari it is called, and it's very, very powerful. Very hardly anybody teaches marma Kallari. So this one person named Pasha, we became good friends here again, because the first time he came here or second time he came here, I was with Swamiji and Swamiji introduced me to him, and we happened to be talking, and he's a Keralite, so we were very comfortable talking. And then it so happened that they later on fixed up some dates and all that, so he started coming here. And they have camps, you know, it's a paid thing, and many people from many parts of India are coming and taking that advantage. So he is available only for 1 week or something here, and he does it. So he treats multiple patients a day, half an hour I think minimum is the time, and all kind of problems are sorted out here. So I have found it very beneficial, because when I heard it from people. So what I'm trying to say is, this guy named Pasha, when I was talking to me, I was asking, how do you get guide? So he says, I have no idea. I just came down here, and I was here some time with Swamiji, and some Ayurvedic doctor had brought me here, and I just saw this place and everything. And then I felt very peaceful, very calm, very vibrant. And he said, he is not a meditator or somebody. He is a Muslim. Pasha means Muslim. So he's from a Muslim family who came here and who stayed here in this ashram for some time. And then he found himself, you know, he was going into dhyan, meditation, contemplation like that. And then he had a vision. Some visions, I don't know what. And when he came here to this tree, I'm just walking back to these 2 trees, he had some strange experience of some vibration, something, because when I was asking him, what brought you here and how come you are here? You happen to be from Islam faith and all that. So he said, yeah, my tradition has been from there. Marma Kallari, my father, my grandfather, all have been teaching, and it is only through that parampara. They don't teach it to anybody else. Absolutely, they don't reveal it, because it's a very, very, very rare kind of a stuff. So he has got that kala, and he is the young guy. So he told me, I was here and then I had something, and he told me, that place where there are 2 trees, I felt very good vibrations there. So I said, are you talking about those trees which are on the road to the hospital? He said, yes. So I said, yes, many people have told me that, and I'm glad that you have had it. He said, because see, he is not from this background. He is not a Hindu or anything. He doesn't do all this. But he is very sensitive to energy. So some past life connections again, we met here, and his past life connection that he is here in this ashram, and though being a Muslim, and then his roots were traced out, and Swamiji told he was born somewhere near Kanjangad only. So there is some connection with Bhagwan Nityananda that he has. The tree is here, the 2 trees are here. So, strangely, I don't know what it is, but this even I have sensed it, because when I used to come here very many years back, I used to strangely come with my friends and sit under this tree. See, there are many trees here, this side. But that side there are many. But somehow I felt very comfortable sitting here. Then what used to happen was, whenever I used to come after COVID, when I came down from Delhi to Belgaum, I started coming here frequently to this ashram, and I started spending little time here singing songs. So I used to record many songs here, and it was all recorded in this area, a very fantastic area. I used to feel very nice and very peaceful whenever I come here. And then later I come to know there is a Devi's Vigraha, something there. I don't see it, because now they have this sugarcane fields grown up. It's somewhere over there. Somewhere there. There. So I stumbled upon that, and then Swamiji told me that that's a very prachin kind of a Devi Murti that is here, and there is a vase of the mother Shakti form here, and many people have had strange experiences in the hospital that's here. The hospital is there. I just walked back from there, so I'm going back to the hospital place only. So that hospital also is very divine, a divine place. These are the two trees from here, and there is a Vigraha there. So this place has got some historical connection with something very divine and something very of earlier times. Something. Because this place where I'm standing is all the place of historical place of Lord Parshuram's place. If you see Lord Parshuram's, Bal Parshuram's place is connected with Ganeshpuri. So he was born and brought up in those areas. That is why you have Mother Renuka's statue there. His mother, Parshuramji's mother, Renuka Devi. He's the idol of that Renuka Devi is in Vajreshwari Mata's temple in Ganeshpuri. So you have three deities there. One is Ma Vajreshwari, one is Ma Renuka, Parshuramji's mother, and the third is Ma Kalika. So three Vigrahas are there, three idols are there in Vajreshwari. And that Renuka Mata's presence is because that is Bal Parshuram Kshetra. That Mandagni mountain and all that. And ironically, this place where I am right now, this is in Belgaum district, place called Bevinkoppa. So the areas around this is all again Bal Parshuram Kshetra. Because from here 30 kilometers if you go a little away, there is a place called Saundatti. Saundatti is a Shakti Peeth, and Saundatti is where Maharunika lived. Saundatti is the place where actually Parshuram beheaded her on the instructions of the father. So that Kshetra is there. It's a very powerful Kshetra. I go there many times a year. Many of the localites go there. It's a Shakti Peeth. Raw energy, intense. So, and that's also the place of the Guru of Ma Renuka. When she was living there on the banks of that river, actual ashram, her ashram was there. And before all this incident, she was blessed by her Guru, two of them from the Nath Sampradaya. Ekaya and Jogaya they are called. Eknath and Jognath. I didn't know that rahasya, I didn't know that secret. Because everybody who goes to the temple talks about Ekaya, Jogaya. I thought it's some local deity or something like that. Then Swami Vijayananda told me once, if you are going to Saundatti, try to find the Jiva Samadhi of the two Nath heroes, divine heroes, Eknath and Jognath. I said, Eknath and Jognath, how can their Samadhis be there? He said, it's there, you go and find out. I have visited a couple of times, but I couldn't find it. Perhaps you may. I was very interested. And then I was asking him a question, and he said, have you heard of Ekaya Jogaya? I said, yes, I know. It's very common here. He said, Ekaya and Jogaya is nothing but Eknath and Jognath. So, they are there. And then it so happened we had been during COVID times to that place, and a lot of things happened, and then a small child was there, and they were begging, a mother and child. And they came to me for alms, and I said, I'll give you, but on only one condition. You have to show me, just laughingly I said this, because my classmate also was there. I said laughingly that I'll give you, but you'll have to show me the samadhis of Eknath and Jognath. And I thought that's just like a joke. But her mother strangely said, yes, we'll show you. Then I said, okay, where is it? Then she said, a small little child. I said, go and show. In Kannada, I said, go and show them. I said, okay, there are shops there. Yeah, there are some shops. Okay, I said, I'll buy chocolates for the child there. And the little child came very far away from that main temple. You have to walk a little bit. Not very far, 5 minutes walk or 10 minutes walk. We reached that place and she showed this is the temple. And I gave her a bunch full of chocolates for her and her sisters and all that she was saying, and she went off happily. And when I entered the temple, it was a temple written as Eknath Jognath temple. It was just a temple. So I was curious. I asked somebody there with a jata, somebody who was managing that place, is this temple or samadhi? He said it's a temple. I still had my doubt. So I walked into that samadhi, and what vibrations. I mean, it was intensely, immediately palpable. Immediately. No need of sitting in there, nothing. Just I enter and it's full of energy, brimming energy. I sat and meditated there. I was 100% sure it is the Jiva Samadhi of Eknath and Jognath. Though the person told me it is temple, it's not a temple. That, and to relate, even Swami Vijayananda told the Samadhi is there. So I knew this is the place. Then I sent photographs and all to Swamiji and said I found it here, and you can go whenever he wants to go next. So that's the history. They were gurus of Ma Renuka. And Parshuramji moved around in these places, and that is why the presence is very strong. Parshuramji's presence is very strong here. And of course, from here, if you go 150 kilometers to 200 kilometers, it's all Goa area. Goa is completely Parshuramji's area, and down if you go towards Kerala, Kerala is all Parshuramji's area. So we were just talking a little bit on that, and I said, okay, let me take my stroll. And then while taking the stroll, I thought, let me just talk to you guys. So I'm just coming to this hospital place. Yes, I was talking about that mother's Vigraha there. It's a small temple which villagers do. Somewhere there. We just came from there. I can't see it, but it's somewhere there only. So it has a lot of connections. It's Ma Durga's, I presume, because when this hospital was being built here, and Swamiji was asking Karunakar Swami, who was an Avdut, Swami Karunakar of Mumbai. He was the last disciple of Bhagwan Nityananda. So he had told, do not do anything related to cows here, because Swamiji wanted to build a Gaushala here, and he had told if you try to build, it's not going to happen, because all the cows were dying here whenever they tried. So that's how Karunakar Swami told Vijayanand that यहाँ पे व्यागराज देवी का स्थान है ये. This is the place of Vyagraj. Vyagraj means the Devi on the tiger, which is again Mahadurga, presumably. So he said, due to that presence, this is not going to happen here. So don't do that. So after that, the Gaushala idea was shelved off, and then he thought about this small hospital here, Ayurvedic hospital. That's how this was built. And later on, Swamiji came to know that Vyagraj, that place, that sthan is nothing but that place which we saw there. It's connected. And perhaps that has something to do with those fruit trees and all that. And I don't know what's the history. But there is some old history. This was all a battlefield once upon a time. All this was a battlefield, and many have died here. Many. Bloodshed was in this place. If you know, I don't know if you know Krantivir Sangoli Rayanna. He was the main hero. He was from this place, and he fought and died in these areas. So there are many films made on him and all here in South India. So that's how the history goes here. So that's a little bit about this place, and it's a beautiful village, very silent village. So whenever I feel like spending some silent moments with myself, I come here because there is absolutely peace here, no disturbance. So you can see the villages and all. They are the typical village, typical village. Still undeveloped, still very innocent people here. You can see them, all simple guys, village folks. Yeah, and that's the hospital there. I want to go there. There will be patients and all that. So when this hospital was very new, and I used to stay in this room for many months, I was here. Even after I came back from Delhi, I was in this place. There's one cottage there where myself and Swamiji used to spend a lot of time. We used to wake up at 4 in the AM in the morning and do recordings on Chidakasha Gita and all that. And many satsangs I used to spend with Swamiji here. So it's a small place here, but a lot of activities going on. Ayurvedic treatments, Panchakarma they do, and now the Kallari marma also they are doing. So first week of every month, and it's full booked. That is the reason they are not even advertising it, because if they advertise it will be too much to handle. So without advertisement only it's all running full. So people book every month for the next 1 week, next month's 1 week. That's how it goes. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you this beautiful place. History. I've done this before. I've talked about this before. But I thought let me just talk about this place. And I came and gave one Brahma Kamal to Swamiji here. I wanted to give him this, because that Brahma Kamal is from the Himalayas, which Swami Ramesh ji gave it to me. So I wanted to, because Swamiji came to my mind first ever when he asked, do you want Brahma Kamal from here? Brought one for myself and for family and for Swamiji. So that's a very rare Brahma Kamal that's only there on the Himalayas. And that is what they offer as Pushpa in Kedarnath temples. So this is harvested. So this guy is here. Ba, Hogono, come. Yellow bandi ninu. Yellow bandi. Look at him. Look at him. Cutie pie. He remembers me. Even after I've come for months later, he remembers me. He was lying there near Swamiji's place, but he's come here. Please throw light on changes in spiritual life after practice awareness. I am feeling peaceful. Is that the end? Beautiful question. Beautiful question. Is that the end? Is peace the end? No. Peace is just a symptom of you moving towards that end. The peace means what? In simple terms, what is peace? Peace means absence of mind. When the mind becomes calm and empty, it's peace. That is what is called as tranquility. And that only converts into blissfulness, and that only changes into what you call as contentment and peace and satisfaction, and a kind of joy starts emanating. So people say, I am peaceful, I am feeling very joyful. All these saints and all, if you see, or if you look at all the great mighty beings, they will always talk about some kind of happiness that is radiating from within. What is that happiness? Where is that coming from? That happiness is not a state that is generated from inside. That happiness is the outcome of an empty and still mind. Nischalman, when the mind calms down and becomes nischal, its result is peace and happiness. That is only what is converted into terms like Nityananda or Satchidananda. All these blissful states, happy states of the being. So that happens only when the mind becomes empty. The only thing is that when we are practicing awareness and all that, it happens only in glimpses. We get ek chalak mil jati hai usko. That's a glimpse, that when you touch that space of no mind during awareness practices, at that moment suddenly there is peace and suddenly there is tranquility. Suddenly there is a certain kind of joy or some unexplainable happiness that comes in. So that is that, touching that same space of bliss. Not even bliss. Bliss means continued happiness is bliss. What is bliss? Bliss means uninterrupted happiness, uninterrupted joy. The joy is not cut at all. It is being stretched. That when happiness is stretched, happiness, peace, contentment, tranquility is stretched, that turns into bliss. So that requires some time. So Satchidananda is, to define it, it's very difficult. But these glimpses tell us of what it is. Fairul Akrin, thank you for the stars. I can see some stars coming in. Fairul is one person who is very constantly there on the platform of shifting into awareness. That's what I'm trying to tell. It's beyond religion, it's beyond all this. Awareness is pure consciousness. So today I had a post coming from a master who he said about awareness and explaining about how being conscious is being aware. Very much true. Awareness means being completely aware and being conscious. That's what awareness is all about in simple terms, very simple terms. But that is the first stage. That is the first stage of the higher journey or the deeper journey into pure consciousness. So, what Gurudev explained was very beautiful. He said that, being aware that, or living a life of awareness that, aware that you and everything around. ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಆರಾಮಂತ ಆರಾಮ ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಬರ್ತೀಯ ಹೋಗ್ಬಾ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಬೇಡ ನಾನು ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆರಾಮಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಈಸ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಿ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಡ್ರಾಪ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ Gurudev was telling is living a life of awareness, being aware that everything is consciousness, pure consciousness. Consciousness is just being conscious, okay. Our consciousness, we know the word conscious. Then there is something called pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is that Satpurusha, what we are telling, the main essence. The main essence of whatever you might want to call it, however you might want to call it. The self you call it, God you call it, that tattva. That is known as pure consciousness. Now what is pure consciousness and consciousness? The consciousness that we have, with all the impurities, with all the things and all, we can say it is just consciousness. It is still not pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is pure witness, pure sakshi. Pure sakshi. Like we have explained many times how the Shiva, the Nirguna, Nirakar Shiva, is only a pure witness. He doesn't judge, he doesn't think, he doesn't do anything, nothing. It's just that essence, that being. That being. You are just there. That is what we call the Sakshi, the one who is witnessing. No, nothing, no interpretations, no judgments, no conclusions, no opinions, nothing. Just a witness to that. That is what we call as the self. It is witnessing everything. But we can become conscious. I can become conscious. Who is this I now? This I is that ego self, or this is the false I. This is the one who has that identity. This who thinks that I am this personality, I am this body, I am Jake, I am this religion, I am this dark color, I am this tall, I belong to this race. This I which is carrying, this one is the one who even practices awareness. Who is the one who is practicing awareness? You and me. It is the ego only practicing awareness. That's separated. That false I is trying to become conscious. Now who is becoming conscious? The self, I told you, is the self cannot do anything. It cannot become conscious. See, become means karta. The self is not the karta. It is just a witness. It doesn't do anything. So, who is the doer then? Who is the one who is doing sadhana? Who is the one who is doing japa? Who is the one who is doing mantra? Who is the one who wants enlightenment? Who is the one who is working towards salvation or mukti or moksha? Who is that one? The false I. This I which we call me, man, whoever, whatever name, form that we have. This name and form, this swarupa, nama swarupa, whichever is there. This is the one who is trying to become independent. But the self is already independent. It doesn't try nothing. So what happens is this I, this false I, when it gives up itself, the day it becomes purified and then iska astitva mit jata hai. Its identity just dissolves. This false I, that day what remains? The self, which is already a witness. It is already there. It's a witness. Only thing, the false I cannot see it. Or cannot realize, because there are so many vasanas, there are so many tendencies, so many conditionings, the sanskaras, karmas, so many things are there in this personality. That is why it is a personality. That is why I feel different from the self, because I have thought I am something else. That is why Gurudev used to always say, kuch banna nahi. Don't become anything, because when you become, you go separate, you go far from that. So when you drop the identities, or through whatever practice, sadhana, tapas, whatever we do, all these are taking you only towards dropping the tapas, the what you call, not the tapas, but dropping all these identities and personalities that we have. There's someone coming here. So when these personalities just dropped, what remains is nothing but the self. That is called self-realization. So what Gurudev is telling, that self is that pure consciousness. It's pure. And who are we who are becoming aware? It's the impure one who's becoming aware, who's trying to practice awareness, who's shifting from the mind to awareness. All this is we. It's still not the pure consciousness. That is why even the great mystics of Western, like Eckhart Tolle and all that, they have described this awareness. Even Osho has described this awareness as pure awareness. Pure consciousness is described as pure awareness. Or it is known as, there is another term. Anyways, if we understand this term, that's more than enough. The pure consciousness, which is the soul or the God essence, is again related to pure awareness. Why consciousness? Pure consciousness is called pure awareness because that Shiva Tattva, that is pure consciousness, that God which is pure consciousness, is purely just aware. It is a drishta, it's a sakshi, it is just aware. The Shiva Tattva is aware of everything. The pure consciousness is conscious of everything. I've seen the slight difference. It's just the slight difference. That is why I always say, when we were practicing so much on shifting into awareness, I said there are two aspects of shifting into awareness. First, it begins with the gross awareness. We begin with the gross awareness. What is gross awareness? Gross awareness is everything about life around us, which in today's Gurudev's post he mentioned that you become aware of your surroundings, about life. It's a very healthy way to live that way. Consciously you are alive. You are aware about your body. You are aware of whatever is happening, the spandan that is happening in your body. Any secretion, any part, because the more active and aware and conscious you become about your body, the more you will feel it. You will experience it. Anubhuti honi shuru ho jati hai. Not just with the body, even life around. In my home, in the space, in the world, I am fully aware being. I am a fully conscious being. That is what he said, living happily and consciously is very healthy way of living. That is the gross awareness. It begins with that. And then it escalates when that becomes deeper. Today I'll explain to you how the three fundas are there. This only, when it becomes deeper and you start becoming aware of the subtle world, not the gross now. Once you have mastery over this, it is easy to shift into that subtle awareness. Say your kosha or the panchatatvas, like the akash tattva. You become aware of the akash tattva. Everything in that tattva is connected to each and everything. Even the guru tattva, the param tattva, everything is connected with the akash tattva. The moment you connect with that, you have a different kind of an awareness. You become conscious of a larger world. Like I told you, Gangama, it is consciousness, Jal Tattva. If you become consciously aware of that sukshma, in subtle ways, if you become aware of that, one of the Pancha Tattva or Panchabhuta, Jal Tattva, you have something else because you have entered into that zone of the consciousness of the creation. So once that begins being your experience, then it is becoming easier now for one to enter into your own consciousness. That is the self. Now what Ramana ji's teachings are there, Ramana Maharishi ji's teachings is there, abiding in the self, who am I, it becomes easier. Now you can shift from that mind ego, that consciousness, into the pure consciousness. That is why it is said by many mystics of the West that This is a state when awareness is aware of itself. See, awareness is aware of itself. That means pure consciousness is conscious of itself. It's a deeper state. But until these states, lower states are experienced and practiced with, it is very difficult to directly get into the self, what Ramana Maharshi ji says. That's why I always say with this. Yesterday I had a personal consultation with a doctor, and for the first time I had this with her, a new person. So she was also asking into these questions, and this is what I explained to her in brief. That this is how the step up has to be there. So if anybody is trying directly to understand Nisargadatta Maharaj's teachings or Ramana Maharshi's teachings, it will be difficult if you are not practicing awareness. If you have idea about awareness, the conscious, being conscious about your body, being conscious about life around you and the things around you, it's easy. I'm telling you, I've told this many times, that if you become very much conscious of your surroundings, anything that is happening in that surrounding, you become very alert. Like I told you, we were sitting on Ganga Tata and we were recording. I was recording with the selfie mode with Rameshji. He was talking some poetry, beautiful poetry and all that. So he was deeply engrossed in that, and suddenly he turned back. He turned back. I know there was somebody came, one person came. He was a sage or somebody, or he was a sadhu, I think. Because I could see in the reverse camera, the reflection, somebody just came. And he was sitting next to me and he was very much lost, Rameshji. Suddenly he turned and looked back. And for a second, before I could even think, how did he know this? He immediately told me, "Ye jagrukta hai. This is awareness." See, if you are aware, somebody came behind me, I became aware. Are you getting? So these were like confirmations to my own practices. Because this I have told in many lives much before about this practice, that if you keep on practicing there, I was in awareness, my eyes is closed, and suddenly my mother has come and stood in front of me. After half an hour, I was in deep awareness, and literally I became aware of her, though my eyes is closed. And she came and stood, and she was staring at me, and I opened my eyes, and she was like shocked. Because she thought I'm in meditation, and I opened exactly at that time. So when Rameshji said that to me, I had a deep confirmation. Oh, wow, this is how it works. So these are all the plus advantages. So Shreyasi, I think I've answered what you're trying to say. It all helps. It all helps. I can't see your comments. I don't know where it went. Okay, something I did got blocked, I think. I am feeling contented, no desires coming up, all thoughts emerging are seeming nonsense. Now I am able to respond, my mind, my thoughts don't empower me. Big thing, but simple yet. Yeah, absolutely, I can understand what state is that. That's very beautiful. You are in the right direction on that. Because no desires coming and thoughts, everything seems a nonsense. That's the first thing. That is what I told in today's post. In the morning I said everything else is drama. Until you are not focused, and the moment you identify your real purpose, everything else is just time pass. I am traveling, time pass. I am eating, I am time pass. We are all having so much in this world to do. I've got this work to do. I have this responsibility. I am responsible for this. I got to take care of this. All dramas of the world. It doesn't matter. At the end, all that remains is, what have you done? What did I do with this life? When I leave the body, I will become aware. I came for this. Did I do that? Everything else fine. I did this, I did that, I had fun. All the aspects of life fun. Okay, that's all fine. But the main thing, then there should be no regret. That is why I said, that is very important. Keep that in mind. Whether you gain something, you lose something, but don't lose the purpose of your life, main purpose of your life. I'll throw some light on this tomorrow in my live from here. I'll try to do. I don't know, because we are supposed to have, Swamiji just took a break, and then we are again planning of sitting and talking something. So let me see how the things are. Tomorrow I'll do a live from here. And this is again Bevinkoppa, what I told you. A very beautiful place, very divine place. As I told you even about the Kallari marma that is going on here. It's gaining popularity, and it's a very powerful means of healing. And the Ayurvedic hospital also is here. I have told this before also, but whenever I come here, I make it a point to just introduce you to this. So tomorrow, let me see if anything particular, I will come up with something in the live, or let me see if I can ask Swamiji anything. Otherwise, I'll be doing my regular Sunday live here. And I didn't realize tomorrow is Sunday. After I came to know, oh, tomorrow is Sunday. So anyways, so with this, I take a leave for now. Just a short live. Stay blessed, all of you. My prayers and well wishes for all your well-being and evolution. Bye.